to have the bollocks.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with me on that?
You've like, what are we doing here? Levy isn't going anywhere.
It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Five. How are you? It is Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, and a very special day. We've got a birthday boy in the gaff. Has his birthday been ruined by Stelligation being on the ropes? We're going to find out. Tottenham win, ladies and gentlemen. Tottenham won the biggest game since the last biggest game of Tottenham's season. And all of our Spurs fans' careers. We managed to get one over the line, two over the line, two on the bounce. Can we make it three against Leeds? It was an almost perfect weekend for results until just recently, a couple of hours ago, when Chelsea succumbed to the pressure and succumbed to a weakened team against Nottingham Forest. And so Forest looked like they're safe. It was down to two then. Will it be Tottenham? Will it be West Ham? We are going to chew it all over, including the unbelievable and harsh and nasty reaction from fans and journalists alike, who surely are scraping the barrel for clicks and views material when they suggest that Villa should be investigated as a football club for throwing the game. We're going to talk about that as well. Is it an outrageous slander against what was a fantastic performance against Tottenham? We're here with the four boys, Stel, Johnny and Lubo. So strap yourselves in. You know what to do. Smash the granny out of the like button, please. It really does help the channel grow. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the march to whatever we are on the march to. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. Thick and fast. Keep them respectful. Mods, do your modding. And before I come over and find out how the guys are doing, don't forget, guys, we are available on all of your podcast platforms. You can watch us back on Spotify. If that's your jam, then please give us a rating, follow, and or review. You can also listen to us back on Apple Pods and Amazon and all that jam too. So if that's your flavor, then make sure you do the same over there. And before I come over to the guys, last quick word from our sponsor, OK Jersey. You know by now where to go if you want to find the latest and greatest in all of your clobber and your athleisure wear regarding all things sports and football. They do, in fact, have the greatest prices and the greatest value in town when it comes to the World Cup second team kits and all of the international team kits. And, of course, they do already have, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, some of the stuff that hasn't already been officially confirmed yet for next season. So if that's your thing, then wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know what to do. Go and have a little look-see at OK Jersey and go and check out what you want to get. And when you do get it, stick in code 5 at checkout where you get an extra 8% off already fantastic prices. So big up to them for the sponsorship. Big up to you for your attention. Stel, happy birthday, buddy. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to all the people in the chat wishing me happy birthday. Lots of love to all of you. Really, your messages are too kind. Thank you, guys. It's very nice of you to acknowledge the birthday. Got some birthday pizza here. I went out for an Italian earlier on, so this is what I couldn't finish off. Yeah, look, Stelligation has been relegated. It's not happening, is it? It's not happening. I don't think it's happening now. I think we are going to stay up. I think we are going to do it. So look, I'm still a Spurs fan. I want what's best for Tottenham. If the best thing is to stay up and ENIC actually back the club, I'll get behind it. We'll get into whether that's what's going to happen. I don't buy into that. But look, it was nice. It was nice to see Spurs actually playing like a team, actually playing like they cared for the badge they were wearing. And for the away fans that went, do you know what? They had an absolute party in the terraces, and it's been a long time coming. So I'm happy for the fans that they got a proper day out. So, yeah. I can find happiness in what I saw, despite me wanting us to go down. So, but yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I'm glad that the birthday. I mean, I haven't heard yet. Did you get any nice presents? We'll come to that in the next stage. Let me just find out how Johnny and Lubo are. Johnny, how you doing, mate? You feeling a little bit better? Or are you still on the ropes?
Still on the ropes, mate. 2 weeks in. All I can say is, oh, Robert De Zerbi. That's what I felt last night.
Oh, is that the song now? Is it? That's the manager.
Well, that was the song I was singing. My son kept telling me to shut up. Why are you singing that? No one else is singing that. Everyone's singing Tottenham away. Stop trying to start songs. Stop trying to embarrass me and start songs that one else is singing.
You are a child, Johnny. When it comes to Tottenham, you are a child, mate.
100% I'm a child. And it actually spread to 4 other guys who were pissed out their heads, who tried to join in with me. I think it should catch on.
It will do.
It will do because I think he deserved the song. I feel sorry for Stell. Obviously, ruined his birthday with us winning. But listen, I still maintain that a near fatal car crash is the best thing that could happen to this club, because the fact that they could lose billions or they could be shut down for billions would make a huge difference to them, because I think relegation would have ultimately hurt the fans for years. That's my opinion. But last night was really special for me, apart from Bilbao, and I've been to all the away wins this season. For me, that was the best away atmosphere since Bodo, which was really special for different reasons, but fantastic. And big up to all the fans, Lubo included, who went there yesterday. We deserved every minute of that celebration, and to everyone that did go, that suffered all that we've suffered. Hopefully all the fans who don't manage to get to the away games will get to savour this and Leeds next Monday. I know we've only got
the away games. The away fans have been comparatively spoilt this season. Third best in the league form away from home. We're rock bottom of the home form. It's the home fans we should feel sorry for, not you. Lucky lot. Saying. I'm hoping you lucky lot get to see some decent football occasionally.
I'm hoping that they get their. I'm hoping they get their just rewards.
Johnny, just before I come and see how Lubo's doing. I see a few people mentioning it in the chat. I did bring it up on the watch along when we saw Kolo Muani getting taken off. Were you in the upper tier or the lower tier? Because if you were in the lower tier, I was laying evens on the money that Johnny was going to be elbowing 8-year-olds out the way, charging down the gangway to get a picture and a high five. Kolo, it's Johnny. I never doubted you, Kolo. I never doubted you. High five. Get out of the way. Koosh.
I've got to be honest with you. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, and I've been massively disappointed, almost embarrassed that I actually thought that he was going to be a good player for us. But for some unknown reason, the De Zerbi effect hit Kolo Muani yesterday. I don't know what happened to him, but it all started when he ran off the bench in the last game, and here he was running, closing down, actually making efforts. And when he came off the pitch, I couldn't believe it. He was blowing kisses. He was going mad. I for one, probably being one of his biggest fans before he came here, was actually laughing. You got a bloody cheek, mate. You got a bloody cheek. Blowing kisses to everyone.
He put in one hell of a shift.
He did. But listen, let me tell you something. If he
about time I dig out that old tweet of Stell's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kolo Muani is effing shit.
Let me tell you something. Listen, one swallow don't make a summer.
Rubbish.
One swallow don't make a summer. But what I would say to you is, if De Zerbi can turn him around, like he has, because he stated before, there's a really good player in there, and we haven't seen anything of him really.
Yeah.
Then maybe he can convince him to stay if we stay up for a decent fee. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out. Lubo, it's only taken nearly 10 minutes to come over and see how you're doing, mate. That's the way we're doing it tonight, apparently. How are you, Lubo? Good to see you, buddy. You okay?
Yeah, still wallowing in last night's pleasure. It was how nice to wake up this morning as a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Like you. We'll talk about the game afterwards, but just to sort of summarise the evening, it started. And hi to Billy from Preston, who came up to me as I walked through the turnstile and said, Lubo, great show. He says, you've got to have a word with that butler about my chairman. You've got to have words with him.
Well,
Really.
yeah.
Anyway,
Takes
big
all
up
sorts.
Billy. Have a
Takes all
lovely
sorts.
chat
Big up
with
Billy.
him.
Big up
And
Billy.
we finished up walking out singing do. Tottenham's going nowhere. And that summed up the evening. It was brilliant. Absolutely
Awesome.
brilliant. The whole thing from start to finish. The players came on the pitch. They were smiling, they were laughing, they were knocking the ball about, doing their bit before, pre-match kickabout, warm up. Everybody looked happy. There was a great vibe amongst the fans. Johnny, it was brilliant, wasn't it? It was just like, you just felt that this was going to be a good night. And it was brilliant. The fans just sung throughout. Performance, particularly that first 45 minutes, was just brilliant. Just superb. And, it was like, blimey, I haven't seen this from my team for a little while. It was just superb. And you walked out and I just thought, do you know what? Everybody's been taking the piss out of me for saying 18 points. We carry on playing like this. We win the next 3, we'd have had 17. So fingers crossed, could be close to that 18 points. Keep believing, keep the faith.
This guy, shameless, absolute shameless.
Do you know, after the game yesterday, I opened up the stream for a few people to jump on. Danny Kiriakou came on. He spent the first half an hour reminding everybody about how positive he has been and how he backed us to beat Villa and he backed us to beat Wolves and he backed us to never lose another game of football ever in the history of Tottenham, in the future of Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm like, Danny, you're not exactly known for being Mr. Positive in the Tottenham fan base, buddy. Like, I don't remember you saying that. I don't remember you saying it, but he wouldn't let it go. I was like, you are really dining out on this momentary positivity because it seems to have worked through. Everyone likes to say, I told you so when something goes in the favour because they don't. Everyone's too commonly being told, you were wrong, you were wrong.
I can definitely say I was. I can definitely say that I was, Stel, because there's a reason why I'm bottom of the fantasy table because I kept predicting Spurs to win every week.
Yeah.
You predicted the score. The thing is, Danny K, right? And I had this. We had a back and forth in a group chat yesterday. Danny K was one of many fans who said this team is shit, the players are shit, everyone is shit, the world is shit, and I was in the camp with, I'd say, a fair few others that said this team's not good enough for what we want. It's better than what we're seeing because of the coaching. It's the coaching. And I think now what De Zerbi's done is he's come into an injury-ridden team. He's got a front line that is on its knees. He's got his captain out injured. And yet what's he done? He's got us playing. How? That's what coaches do. No one's expecting this squad to finish top 4, top 6 under De Zerbi. I don't. But we should never have been in this situation. And I go back to the start of the season. Frank was the wrong manager. And Tudor was worse than Frank. De Zerbi's a proper coach that plays football in a way that I think our players want to play as well. And I think that's all it is, guys. We've just got a coach that gets it. That's all it is.
I think there's also, it's a combination, right? I think of, because I completely agree with you on the style of football, and we'll come to the specifics of the game in a second. And also I want to go through every player one by one, because I think they all deserve their analysis each in turn. We'll start at the back, but we'll start with De Zerbi then as you've gone there still. For me, I think he's been making it very clear in the pre and post-match press conferences that we've seen every single week that he doesn't have the time really to implement all of his grand plans with regards to philosophy. Although I do think we saw some really lovely patterns of play yesterday at times, especially in the start of that second half. When we had they came out of the traps a little bit nicely in the second half, but from about the 55th minute until about the 70th, when we just played keep ball, some of the consummate ease in which we were spreading that ball around, and then when they got close, they were triangling the way out of it with some lovely one-touch football. You started to see what De Zerbi ball was going to look like. But on top of that, as I say, put all that stuff to one side. De Zerbi, for me, all that the message has been is like trying to remind these players that they're not bozos, that they're not donuts. That Richie, you're a fucking Brazilian number 9, bro. You're a World Cup superstar. Mawani, don't forget the 90 million euro player that you were a couple of years ago. Palhinha, you've been an ever-present in the Portugal team for the best part of 12 or 13 years, or 12, whatever it is, 10 years. Like we've got we've got the talent there, but they sort of stopped believing in themselves at some point over the last 18 months. And I think that De Zerbi's figured out the right combination of words in the right order to be able to make them believe in themselves. And I think you're right, Stel, that playing a style of football that actually is conducive to making people happy to play it, alongside that self-belief, is a little cocktail that we can hopefully
Sean,
in the next few games.
Sean, the amount of times I heard fans say that we can't pass, they can't pass a ball, we're shit at passing, and the amount I think Lubo, I think you might have been one of them. I'm not trying to dig you out. I'm just saying these were the arguments we were having. And I was trying to say, the reason the passing has gone to shit isn't because the players can't do it. We're not coaching it as much. It's as simple as that. And when you stop the repetition of the practice, then what you see is a drop-off. And I remember a show where I pointed out that if one or two players' passing stats drop, progressive passing accuracy, pass completion, if they drop, you've got a player problem. But the entire team, every single player's passing stats dropped. Everybody. That's a coaching failure. What did you see yesterday? Sean just described there were some triangle passes. We're moving the ball nicely. Our possession at the end of the first half was 68%. 68%.
Yeah, and also, so I'll get up in a second and show you, but like the amount of long passes that we were throwing into the mix. I mean, unbelievable. Polina was banging the ball 25, 30 yards. And this was a player that everyone said 2 weeks ago and has been saying forever. He's decent off the ball, but he's terrible on it. Didn't see any signs of that yesterday. You saw some unbelievable passing arrangement. Pedro Porro, unbelievable passing arrangements yesterday.
You know what he's done? He's gone in. He's given every player a clear role. They know what they're doing. He's gone out and he's picking his team. And apart from injury, he's sticking to that team. He's sticking to the system. It's not a different system, different players, like 3 or 4 changes every single week like it used to be. You know, like it has been throughout the whole season. And he's getting continuity. And with continuity, you build partnerships and players know where they're going, where they're running, who's going to run off, who's not, who's going to come short, who's going to come long. He's doing a great job. He's doing an absolute superb job. And I saw the first start of it at Sunderland. We were unlucky. We lost to a deflected goal. We could have won quite easily with 2 goals by Richie. Unfortunately, and Solanke as well. There was a point blank save from him. We could have won that game. And in fairness, it has been, although in fact you've seen it, defeat, draw, win. It's been improving every match. Now, obviously, there's going to be hiccups, but you can see what he's doing, and the players are responding. I mean, I was told today that Van der Ven absolutely loves it under De Zerbi. Don't be surprised Mickey stays. Don't be surprised.
So Lubo, where
has his form not bounced back over the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Lubo,
definitely better.
Can I ask you? A few months ago, you were saying that this team's not good enough. We've actually got a worse team than Fulham, a worse team than Pat. Do you now change your mind and say, actually, the team isn't that bad? It's the coaching that's doing it. It's the person in charge.
I think. Listen, still, players have.
Don't give him an inch, Lubo. Don't give him an inch. He's trying to pivot. He's trying to pivot you into the flip-flop mode. He's doing the old. Let's not attack me. Let's attack you.
I'm just asking because
diversion.
Remember,
Diversion.
Hang on. If we want a diversion, guys, right? For everybody, hang on. Quick diversion for everybody listening. Right, it's Still's birthday today. When he comes to London, can you all put in the comments what you think Still's present should be? I think he should have lunch with Vivian and Nick Butcher in Lilywhite House. Can we have your suggestions, please? We'd love to hear them. Now, Still.
But before you all decide what I should get as a gift, do you now rethink your opinion?
Bloody pictures for your wall, by the looks of it.
Where you? Do you know what? You can't. I've got one just there. There's one there.
He's being held against
little
his
bit of
will.
decor still. A little bit of decor wouldn't go amiss, mate. Just
He's in Tehran at the moment. Don't let him.
My belongings.
In Tehran.
My belongings are on a shipping container because of Trump, and this war, the ship's been delayed by 12 weeks. It's now in Italy. So I'm waiting for my belongings to come to Cyprus.
Hey, this ship, this ship.
This ship.
I thought it was in the Straits of Hormuz.
But look, I'll if it's there, then I'm never going to see it, am I? It's probably sunk.
Yeah.
Does everyone here then agree? Or can we find a place where we say, actually, yes, the squad is not good enough for what we want, challenging for titles, Champions League, all of that stuff, but the squad is better than what we've seen because the coaching hasn't been up to what this squad needs. Can we agree on that at least?
I love the way, I love that. It's true Americanism when you ask the question and give the answer. I'm sure you'd all agree with me when I tell you.
No.
No.
By the way, did you love my answer? Brilliant, wasn't it?
No.
I forget what the question was. What was the question? Are we better off with De Zerbi, essentially? Yeah, is that what we're saying here?
No,
a real coach.
Is this squad as bad as what everyone made it out to be, or is it a case of the squad isn't great, but a better coach gets more out of them than what we've seen up to now?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's a mediocre squad ravaged with injuries without any superstars that has been coached badly. And that's where we are. If we had fewer injuries, if we had better ambition, a happier squad that had a couple of more sprinkles of superstardom in it, then we'd be in a much better place. It's always a little combination of everything, isn't it?
There you go, Stel. And I said that without moving my lips. There's your answer.
De Zerbi's the one that's changed it, though, isn't it? It's just
Early days, but he's definitely made an impact. He's definitely had an impact for sure. I think the players are believing in him. They believe. I think you're right, Stel, that they enjoy playing a certain style of football. I think that most players don't want to play turgid, defensive, boring football. And I just want to. This is why I brought this up a second ago, Johnny. I'll let you answer this one, mate. Just look at some of these passing arrangements, right? Hang on, what's going on there? This is I just picked 4 people at random, but it could be any of them. Look at the average length of some of these passes, mate. I mean, this is Roddy Bentancur. Like under Thomas Frank, you weren't seeing our midfielders putting in sprays and plays, and if you were, there was a hell of a lot of red on the screen. Right, Bentancur only 1 misplaced pass the entire game yesterday. I mean, that guy is a revelation since he's been brought back in under De Zerbi. I don't know where he's been. I know he's always injured, but he seems to be back to a new version of it, or the old version of himself. Conor Gallagher, okay, a few misplaced passes, but generally speaking, lots and lots of length, lots of risk, lots of sprays. And that spreads the game, especially when you have 2 wingers that are willing to get the ball and take their man on. That's the thing we've been missing for so bloody long. Even Pedro Porro, I thought, had a really good game yesterday. Okay, he misplaced a couple
Paulinho there.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know where.
Sorry,
I had him a second ago. I don't know where he's gone. Let me bring him up here. Paulinho's passing map is sensational as well. This is supposed to be a guy who can't pass the ball. The only ones he's misplaced are 35, 40-metre channeled passes. And even in the ones that he has passed, look at that one there. That's about a 50-metre pass from right over in the corner down to the edge of the box there. I mean, all over the place yesterday, Paulinho. What an absolute unbelievable performance. And a guy that is proving his doubters wrong when it comes to on-the-ball composure.
Terrific.
Yeah, we said it on this channel, though. We all said Paulinho has to start. All of us agreed that he has to start. No.
Yeah,
he has been. When you look at how each player has performed in however many games that they have played, and Paulinho should have played in more than he should have been selected more than he has. For me personally, he's my player of the year. I think
he was my player of the year after about 3 weeks.
I think he's been so consistent whenever he's been picked.
It's experience as well, Lubo. It's knowing, which pass to make. What I also liked in the game was I think I haven't heard enough people talk about it. I thought the communication between the players on the pitch was absolutely superb. Yeah. You saw them talking to each other constantly. The midfield 3, Bentancur was ordering them where to go. And I think, also what we spoke about, Sean, when we only had Kudos, we found that we were so one-dimensional. If they could go 2s up on that right-hand side, that negated everything with us. But with this, we had Richie pressing up against the last man, which is what I spoke about on Thursday's show, and then we had two pulled wide, and with Destiny Udogie constantly making runs beyond the midfield. I think what it did is it enabled those spray diagonal passes because they were trying to cover. They were trying to cover one side, and they managed to find the space on the other. And I think that's
create more space on the pitch, mate. I've been saying this for like as long as I can remember. If you get a dual threat and you get people in the middle that can switch the play, and clearly that's what De Zerbi's trying to do. He's leveraging and leaning into midfielders that don't necessarily have, on paper at least, or historically, don't necessarily have that much in the way of sprayability. And Benson probably could, but we didn't see it. We didn't really believe it in Polina. We didn't know, or we were told not to believe it in Polina. But when you have Kolo Muani hugging one touchline, and when you have Matisse Tell hugging the other touchline, and you have support from Porro and Udogie that are going to get forward and either cut in or go around the outside, you have the ability to spread the park, spread the play, and that means that you have less people congested in the middle, which gives the midfielders more time to be able to find that pass because they're under less pressure. And when you've got Kolo Muani and Matisse Tell that are equally capable to some degree, whether you rate them or otherwise as players, they're not that much different in terms of their ability to take a player on, and their willingness is still pretty similar as well, which means that you're not going to overload one side or the other. Against Wolves, we went all the way down the right-hand side because we didn't have a left winger on the pitch. We had Xavi Simons in there and Jed Spence, who kind of cuts in too much because he's one-footed and he's a right-footed player, played out of position. But just having that ability to utilise both widths, we haven't had it.
Can I also interject there, Sean? Sorry, just to interject there. Also, a major point and my big bone of contention in the game against Wolves was the fact that we had Dom Solanke, who was almost always on the halfway line, dropping deep. I didn't want Richie doing that. I wanted Richie to give those two centre-backs something to worry about. And that constant pressing with those long balls was giving them something to worry about. They were trying to worry about him. We didn't know whether we were going to go right or left. Destiny Udogie was making those runs beyond the midfield, and it was creating space. It was pulling them apart. It was giving them things to think about. We weren't predictable. And I don't want to see, from this game to the end of the season, I don't want to see anyone dropping deep. I'm in such no disrespect to Dom Solanke, but I'm glad he's not playing now between now and the end of the season, purely from the point of view, I just want them playing on that last man. And
well, to be fair, I've got to hold that. I've got to push back a little bit because Richarlison was used as a target man in that first half about a dozen times, and he mistimed his jump about 7 or 8 of those out of those.
But hang on a second, Sean. He's pulling players, right? The whole point is when he's taking it, he's busying up players, right? So if he's taking 2 players with him, he's freeing up space on the outside. Have a look at the play. You'll see what I mean.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and hear like I'm not
waxing lyrical. I'm just saying
Richie's mistiming of his jumps was very frustrating in the first half. I don't know if the rest of you guys felt that. But his timing of his jumps was
scored a goal and he caused them all sorts of problems, mate.
When it mattered, he scored. Yeah, but mate, we're going to go through the analysis. Like he did also mistime his jump like 10 times.
Well, you could go through everybody. I'm just saying, right? I would rather have
Johnny will not hear criticism of Richarlison.
No, I'm not saying that. I'll hear criticism. I flagged him off myself, but mate, it's pathetic. That's pathetic, in my opinion.
It's not pathetic. He mistimed his jump. He mistimed his jump loads of times. What are we doing?
So you would drop him for Solanke? Yeah.
Solanke's injured. Solanke's injured, so it's a moot point. But I'm just saying that Richarlison, for me, I didn't think had a great game. He got up and he scored the header when it mattered, and fair play. That's what a striker needs to do. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I thought he was instrumental.
But you don't think so? You just think a striker's role is purely and simply that, not pushing against the back line constantly, giving them something to work.
I'm just saying, but in the times where he was called upon to be the target man, he mistimed. He didn't do that job very well yesterday, in my opinion.
You know what, Sean? I don't think Richie is a target man. I think Richie gets about players. He chases them down. He puts tackles in.
The press.
He unsettles centre backs. I think that's his game, isn't it? It's not. Solanke's more of a target man. You know, you play the ball up and he'll get it and control it and lay it off. Richie's not that.
I don't think Solanke is a target man. I don't think he is. I think
Solanke has a better hold-up play generally, but I think Solanke's not as good. He's certainly not clinical in the air as Richarlison is when it comes to the crossing. That's a smashing header, absolutely fantastic header. I'm not taking anything away from Richarlison for that. I'm not saying he had a terrible game. I thought all Tottenham players played well yesterday, generally. But I'm just saying, I think that I observed Richarlison yesterday, and especially in that first half and in the early stages of the second half, there must have been, I don't know if I can find the stat, but there must have been close to 8, 9, 10 times where the ball was lumped up to him and he mistimed his jump entirely. Even for the cross from Pedro Porro that fell to Mawani, he mistimed his jump. He could have got his head on it. He mistimed it, jumped too soon. It fell over his head, and then it landed to Mawani, who put his toe on it, and it bounced up. And a fantastic save from Martinez. I'm not I am criticizing. I'm critiquing. Just I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I thought Richarlison was a phenomenal player yesterday.
I didn't say phenomenal.
I didn't say you did say phenomenal.
The winning goal, mate. Winning goal.
Yeah, listen.
Don't hurt my boy. Don't say anything about my Richie.
Listen,
Can I ask everyone a question? If at the end of the season we sold Richarlison for £50 million, is anyone here going to complain?
No, definitely not.
Oh, but you ain't going to get 50 million. But he'll be gone at the end of the season. But you ain't going to get 50 million.
If we got 40 million,
I don't think you'll get that. I don't think you get that.
If we got 30 million, would anyone complain?
I think you'll get 20 million at most.
If we sold Richarlison, would anyone complain?
No.
Yeah, you sell Richarlison and see how many goals you get with Solanke.
How many goals do we get with
Richarlison?
Richarlison's never got more than 10 goals in a season.
I'm just saying, Solanke's got fuck all goals in his whole career, apart from Bournemouth.
Yeah, but isn't it true that they're both?
I think we're making a comparison.
They're both not good enough.
Yeah, they're both not
Both should go. I'm quite happy for both to go.
Fair enough.
I only mentioned Richarlison because we were talking about him. I did. Can I, Sean? Do you know what was really, really impressive about that game? There's two things that stood out for me. Well, three. One was how powerful we looked in that midfield in our 50-50s, and Paulinho was key to that. Number two, it's what Frank did when he first came to Spurs. Our pressing game was really, really good. We knew when to press, when to take a little break from the press, when to press again. It's exactly what we did under Frank for the first couple of games, and then he stopped doing it. But what was the one thing the ZERBI'S team is doing that Frank's team didn't do when we press is we are not scared to shoot from distance under the ZERBI.
Yeah.
Xavi Simons scored a banger against Brighton from distance. Yeah, it's like we weren't doing this under Frank. Nobody was prepared to take a shot.
It's the XG bollocks argument where, because XG dictates where you finish in the league, everyone with a high XG, therefore don't waste your low XG shots because it doesn't create enough chances, yada, yada, yada. So keep passing it around, doing horseshoe football. Load of bollocks. It works for teams that have conviction and high conversion, but not for Tottenham. So I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad that he's holding
Paulinho could have had a fantastic goal as well.
Oh, what a shot!
I mean, everyone was shouting, "Don't shoot, don't shoot," and he shot and then hit the post.
Because the whole point of the press is to win the ball as close as possible to the opposition's goal, because in the distance you have to travel is less. But then if there's not a pass or a ball that you can play into the box that is on, but there's a gap that opens up, take the shot, right? At least with the ZERBI'S team, we are seeing them take those shots. And for me, we've been crying out for this all season long. We've been saying it all season long, how much we're desperate to see. Why doesn't no one shoot? Just freaking shoot. Now we're shooting. Xavi Simons scores a banger against Brighton. Conor Gallagher scores a blinder against Aston Villa. What a first touch, by the way. And like you said, Johnny, Paulinho hitting one off the post. Wasn't there a week as well against Wolves where Paulinho hit a shot from distance, but the goalie saved it, I think, as well? Yeah,
that was as soon as he came on for Brighton. First touch, Brighton. He shifted the ball and bang.
Could have gone anywhere.
That 1-0 up, Man City.
Yeah. Can we just reverse engineer a little bit here? Yeah. Oh, go on, Stel. Go on, mate.
I was just going to say those three things, they stand out for me. We look like we're battling in the midfield. We're pressing far better than what we were doing for the last 4 or 5 months. And we're prepared to take shots from distance when there isn't a pass on. And those three things combined, it just raises the levels a bit at the club. It just makes us look like we're capable,
And do you know what? That was the first time that we've played those three in midfield together. just looked tremendous.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Do you remember all
I saw
the people
saying? Oh, go on, John.
I was just going to say, do you remember all the people who were saying, if Thomas Frank plays that midfield, they cannot play that double pivot of Bentancur and Paulinho, cannot play them. Now you can't do that. I think the three of them have to start every game. I think the team more or less picks itself. Kids are dead, mate. Kids are over.
Can we just take a moment here to
be fair, though.
Go on, sir. Sorry, mate. I think we're totally
go,
each other.
Go. Go.
I was just going to say, we haven't spoken about it yet, but for me, part of the reason why we could play as well as we did yesterday was because of having Antonin Kinski and his ability to control the ball and take the pressure off at the back. I think if Aston Villa were up against, if you noticed, I was saying this from the first couple of minutes of the game, I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting game of chess, because we got the ball back to Kinski immediately from the kickoff, and Tammy Abraham and Morgan Rogers and Sancho were not going to press the keeper, and they weren't pressing Vic van der Ven. They were waiting, and I was like, oh, that's going to be fascinating. And then when Emi Martinez got the ball down his end about 2 minutes later, we employed the exact same tactic. So neither team were doing man-to-man press, neither team were doing full court press. Everyone was hoping to do the midfield squeeze, but allowing the goalkeepers to play it out. Had we had Vicario in goal, I would imagine that Unai Emery would have said, you absolutely press Vicario and you terrorise him as best you can. But I think there's an acknowledgement that Vicario is weak under pressure. I think there's also an acknowledgement that Antonin Kinski is very dangerous and doesn't feel that same pressure. At least it's showing that signs, and that's what we signed him on the basis of, that he's very cool and very calm, and his ability to distribute the ball is sensational. And in that game, I thought that Antonin Kinski, in terms of distribution, aided so much into our ability to spread the play. Like he himself is part of a switch hit that I think is the argument of what I've been saying. When we have two wingers that are willing to hug and both go with confidence, if you've got a goalkeeper that can find either of them whenever he wants, that additionally adds additional value and allows the game to spread and doesn't allow the opposition to be able to two-man up at any particular point in time. It's a massive tool, and if Kinski can improve his shot stopping and remain confident, we might just have a really good goalkeeper in the future.
I think I don't see Vicario getting back in this season.
No, I don't.
If he does, it's a disgrace.
I don't want him anywhere near our football club.
But Johnny, he's sticking with the same squad, isn't he? De Zerbi, unless there's an injury, he's not changing.
I did worry if he was Italian, but I've got to tell you, I mean, I've just seen a tackle here that's a red card all day long. If it was anyone else, I just think
who was it on?
On Doku, it was a terrible challenge. I think it's Tarkovsky or what's the name? It should have been a red card. I don't understand how it's not a red.
Do you think that Aston Villa were unlucky that we should have been given a red card yesterday? Because I think it was a Conor Gallagher tackle that lunged in.
I haven't seen it on TV, so I can't.
He got a yellow, didn't he, Phil? Did he get a yellow for that?
Going back to Kinski, Kinski, I think that the effect when a goalkeeper's nervous, how it can spread. Well, I think the same with this. You can breed confidence in your defence, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a defence that's confident in passing the ball back to Kinski, that's confident that he's going to deliver. And some of his passing and ball distributions, one of them, he set off an attack, which looked really, really good, really promising. I think he's looking for, and he's getting better all the time. He's getting better all the time. My worry is we sell Vicario. Who are we gonna buy? That's my worry.
Wow. I don't even know if Mike Maignan still wants to leave AC Milan. Verbruggen, why would he want to leave Brighton?
Well, apparently Spurs are after Darlow. Yeah. Spurs are linked with Darlow.
What
why do we need to buy? Why do we need to buy a goalkeeper? Why can't we? If the ZERBI'S here for 5 years, why can't we build a team around a young goalkeeper that develops into a better goalkeeper?
Because if Vicario's leaving, you'll need a replacement. You're not going to have Brandon Austin on the bench, are you?
Why not? He's a capable guy. We've got Gunter coming through the ranks. Gunter's a really good young goalie, Gunter.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly don't think we need. I think we got far more pressing priorities in that squad than a keeper at the moment, to be honest. I mean,
I'd feel a little bit worried if we went from, if we stay up. If we go down, it's different maybe, but if we stay up, I feel very worried if Anthony Kinski had a crisis of confidence again, and then we went, okay, we can't play you. Who do we go to? And you've only got Brandon Austin or a kid that's never played Premier League football.
Do you know what I think, Phil? He's come through. I mean, that could have broken a lot of keepers, couldn't it? I mean,
yeah, sure.
You hooked in front of what, 50, 60,000 people after 17.
Yeah, and 15 million people watching on TV. Yeah,
I mean, that could have absolutely flattened him, confidence-wise.
Sure.
The strength of character that he has shown to bounce back in those 4 games. I mean,
do you still think? I don't think he's faced that many shots though.
Well, the save against Wolves, I think,
that was fantastic.
Was considering how quiet he was, how he had bugger all to do, and to be that late in the game and to be switched on. He collided. What I was most impressed with, he collided with the post in making the save, and he was up again in seconds in case it came with the rebound. Look, I heard everyone.
Do you think though that was he like that? There was a couple of chances yesterday. There was one that fell to. It was a header that fell to. I forget who it was. Was it Abraham? Was it Watkins later on? And it ended up hitting someone's shoulder. And Danzo was in the mix for it. It hit someone's shoulder and bounced over. But Kinski was nowhere near that. If that land, I forget who the Villa player was, or maybe it was it Bogart? I forget who it was. But anyway, if that lands on the player's head, Kinski was nowhere near it.
Yeah, but you could say that about 101 goalkeepers if this had happened or that had happened.
I know.
I'm just thinking.
Hang on a second, mate. Let me finish the point. I'm just saying. I think that we haven't. The point I was making was that we haven't seen enough in the last 4 games of a. What we've seen is a hell of a lot of confidence in his ability to kick the ball, which is fantastic. And apart from that Wolves save, he hasn't really been tested significantly against Brighton.
Bloody brilliant, Sean.
No, it's brilliant, but I'm saying, but are we suddenly putting our full confidence into Kinski when we haven't really seen his shot stopping abilities in this new version of him? That's all I'm asking.
But would you? I would not put Vicario back in.
No, we're talking about next season. Is what we're talking about.
All right. Well, next season, I think they'll just look to upgrade. Personally, I think they'll look to upgrade. I think they'll go for a big name and make a mistake and probably sell Kinski, is what we normally do. And Kinski will go on to become a good keeper. And it's just like when we bought Raya. We bought Vicario and said he's better value than Raya. I mean, how embarrassing does that look?
Yeah.
I think we should build around Kinski because 70% of the modern day goalkeeper's job is distribution. The ZERBI'S going to want to play a game where the goalie is good with his feet. We've got one. We've got one that can do it. Let's see how he goes for a season. If the shot stopping is a problem, then change him after next season. Exactly what Arsenal did. They brought in a goalkeeper who was good. I forgot his name.
Ramsdale.
And then they moved.
Ramsdale.
Right. They had a few issues.
They had Leno. But they had Leno. But
under Arteta, under Arteta though, Johnny. Yeah, but hold on. Under Arteta, they tried to build with Ramsdale, but he had a weakness, so they moved him on. I think we should give Kinski a season, give him a crack. And if it doesn't work, then move him on. I think we should give him 1 season as the number 1 because he's competent on the ball with his feet.
What I'm trying to say though is that Arsenal. I remember when Jay Leno got injured, right? When Malpai left his foot in and he went off and he was having a fantastic season for Arsenal. I thought, well, that's them done. And in came Martinez. They sold Martinez. They bought Ramsdale. They bought in this one. They bought in that one. They bought in Kepa. They bought in Raya. They have constantly had top goalkeepers, like both of them vying, and they've always had good goalkeepers. Yeah, we've always had second-rate goalkeepers, other than.
But Johnny,
Lloris.
Look at the difference, though. Yeah. But look at the difference. They've done it in stages. The best goalie they've got is the one they've got now. When they got to the final stage of their project, we're going to go on a new project. So I think for the
wouldn't rate Martinez. You wouldn't rate Martinez.
I think Ray is better. I think Ray is a better goalkeeper.
There, though. He's better.
Emi Martinez for me is my favourite keeper in the Premier League. Emi Martinez is fantastic.
For me, I think Raya is the best goalkeeper in the league. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the league.
He's up there, but he's protected. He's protected unbelievably well by his back 4.
But you know, Sean, the other thing also,
but he saves them. the point. Sorry, Lubo. The point I'm trying to make is, for me, I think we're going to go through 2 or 3 phases in building the team that hopefully under De Zerbi challenges for a title. Right? Let's say it takes 4 or 5 years. I think for phase 1, just go with Kinski and see where we go with it. Because otherwise we're going to try and land all the pieces on day 1, and we're not going to do that.
I don't mind that, but I just think that for me, having a backup goalkeeper to Kinski in the world where Kinski has a confidence crisis, because he has had them before. He had them after the Arsenal game a few times. He makes one mistake, he makes 3 or 4 in a world where
maturing though.
I think we're judging him on 3 games. We're sitting there saying he's remarkable after 3 games, Lubo.
Who would you bring in then, Sean? Who would you bring in then? What are you thinking?
I'll let Lubo finish his point and then I'll answer that. Go on,
I was just going to say that the reason why we haven't seen much shot saving or much shot stopping from Kinski is in the 4 games that he's played under De Zerbi, we've only had 8 shots against us on target.
Sure.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, this is absolutely superb, and just goes to show the amount of structural organisation work that he has done, that De Zerbi's done with that, with the defence.
I hear you, but absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, right? Like
of course.
Because we haven't seen it doesn't mean that when we do see it, he'll be there. He'll be great. Because I don't know if he's good enough at shot stopping to rely on him as a number 1. Yeah, he might well be, and I don't mind the idea of giving him the number 1 spot. But I just think in case it doesn't work, I think you need someone else behind it that's more experienced than Brandon Austin.
We've also under Kinski, from set pieces, corners, free kicks, crosses, and goal kicks, we've not seen him make a fuck up.
Sure.
Or a misplaced pass that puts us under pressure.
Yeah, he's good at punching. He's
great punch.
Good at punching. He's got a good punch on him for sure.
Yeah, it's a good punch.
How many potential goals come from Vicario flapping around, hitting the ball under? So as much as he's not having a lot of shots at him, look at what protection he actually gives from these set pieces as well.
I think there was one ball that went off the pitch yesterday, in front of us yesterday, that Kinski played the entire match.
Yeah, you know when that one was so weird. It was like he was brilliant the whole match, and then he just smashes one out.
Can I just say how funny that was? Because I was talking to the guy to the other side of the aisle to me, and I was going, you know what? I tell you what, Kinski's got to stay in goal, mate. He's been foot perfect in this game. And literally, as I finished my sentence, he kicked it out a bloody touch.
Yeah.
Listen,
but Johnny, do you know what? Once in a while, that's all right. Once in a while, it's okay.
Well, yeah, 100%. 100%.
But there are options out there, right? You've got James Trafford that's been linked with Tottenham significantly heavily. If Mike Maignan is still available from AC Milan, he's not on massive wages, but he's so unbelievably experienced. He's a fantastic shot stopper. He's Vicario levels of shot stopping. He's far better than Vicario in terms of area ability. His confidence. He's a good penalty keeper, good saver of penalty shots or penalty kicks. And his kicking is, I wouldn't say he's known for like unbelievable distribution, but he's certainly competent. He knows what he's doing in that vein. And so, but in that, he doesn't come in and plays backup. He wants to come in and be number 1. And if you were to bring someone like him in, then I think that Kinski will say, I can't spend another year as a number 2. I was already number 1 when I was in Slavia Prague. I came here, I played number 2, then I get my chance and it's taken away, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know if Kinski would hang around for that. And I definitely think if you were to go and get James Trafford, who's about the same age as Kinski, then I think Kinski would sit there and say, if I'm playing number 2 to a guy who's in his mid-20s, then I could be on the bench here for the next 4 or 5 years. So on that basis, I'll be out of here.
That's when you end up with a Darlow.
I don't really want to see Kinski leave, but if he does have to leave because we need to get someone better in, so be it. I'm not sold on Kinski yet because I haven't seen him make unbelievable saves.
Why can't we have? You see, this is what I keep saying though. They had Jay Leno and Martinez, right? Then they had Ramsdale. And then they had Ramsdale and Turner. Then they had Ramsdale and Raya. Now they've got Raya and Kepa, a £60 million contract. Why have we got to always look at, well, we have one okay goalkeeper and our backup keeper is a geriatric?
Because a lot of players are willing to go to Arsenal and sit on the bench because they'll pick up a trophy or 2.
Yeah. Well, they haven't won a trophy yet in a long time.
But the proximity to trophies is close, right? Same at Man City, whereas at Tottenham, that's not the case.
It's the illusion of trophiness.
Yeah. The proximity to dreams, eh? So what are we saying then? So right now, are you guys you'd all be in favour of Kinski being number 1 and you're okay with Brandon Austin being number 2, or you want someone else to come in?
I need someone else.
I really like the I haven't seen much of him, but when I have seen him, I've liked him. Is that lad Keller at Liverpool?
Yeah, so he was my number 1.
Brentford now still.
Yeah, listen, he was my number 1 goalkeeper when he was back up at Liverpool before we even were in for Raya. When he was deputising for him, I just think he's a fantastic goalkeeper.
Yeah, he is. Also, that what's his name? The guy that freaking hell, what's his name? Hold on.
I don't know why someone like Kelleher would leave Brentford though. Brentford are on the up. Brentford could be in the Champions League next season. Tottenham are barely staying up. I don't know why they'd leave.
Yeah.
You know?
Bigger club, maybe. I don't know.
The other keeper who is very, very consistent is Dean Henderson at Palace. Really good keeper.
Yeah, quite a lot of injuries. A good goalkeeper though. Good goalkeeper.
Do you know? I know they're going down.
We did look at Henderson, by the way.
Yeah, Henderson, he's a good guy. I know they're getting relegated, but I've always liked the Wolves goalkeeper,
Jose Sarr.
Yeah,
he's had a shit season. He's had a fucking terrible season, but I do rate him as well. Traditionally, I think he's a good.
The whole team's had a nightmare though, isn't he? You know, it's but there was I think there was
he's got an awesome beard, isn't he? He's got a fantastic beard. You got to appreciate the beard.
Yeah, he'll be good for the team photo.
And when Tottenham get some sort of like beard wax sponsorship, the official partner of Tottenham, beard wax. I want to quickly move on, guys. We spoke about Kinski enough there. Destiny Udogie and Pedro Porro, our fullbacks yesterday. Let's start with Pedro Porro. I mean, criticised generally for not being trustworthy defensively. Obviously, when he plays, I've always said when he plays well, we play well. And I think yesterday I thought he had a fantastic return to form just when we needed it. But more important than just his distribution, because he was spraying those balls all over the place. In the first minute till the last, he was enjoying the space to pop it into channels. But he won 8 out of 8 duels yesterday, which I don't remember ever being able to say about Pedro Porro. And
first time in 10 years.
Up against Morgan Rogers as well, one of the brightest players on the left side who wants to cut in all day long. Absolutely fantastic from Pedro Porro. Lubo?
Superb yesterday, absolutely superb. I mean, he has given away a lot of goals through switching off and leaving players at the back post. We've seen that for the last 2 or 3 years. But yesterday, do you know what? I just think these guys they're just so in tune with what De Zerbi wants, and they go out there and they're fired up. They want to play. You know, there's an extra 5 to 10% that's there. And I just think, you know, I was seeing a tweet today on social media that Porro's stats are the best, believe it or not, since Ben Davies got 9 out of 9 and 10 out of 10. I think in over the last 10 years. I mean, no one apart from him has had 100% dual win rate, and he was just superb. And the movements, some of the little chip balls down the line, I thought he was excellent, and he was just, for me, he's more of a wing back than a fullback, but he was superb yesterday. I can't fault him. Honestly, can't fault him. There was, he was supporting. He was with his man. You know, he didn't get sidetracked, didn't lose concentration. The only time we were wide open, I think, was when Danso gave a loose pass in the second half and they broke through, and Mickey came across and made that brilliant tackle.
That's right.
Other than that,
we'll come to them in a second. I just in the last 15 minutes, Lubo, when we're under the cosh a little bit, Pedro Porro, they made some changes, right? They brought on Emi Buendia to sit in the centre, and he connected nicely with Rogers, but. Martins, what's his name? Who was the left back? What's the guy's name? Who's the left back? Martins?
Oh,
no,
Matson.
Sorry, that's it. Matson. I mean, not a mug. I know he doesn't play as much as Luca Digne, but no mug getting forward. And the two of them connected. I thought tried to connect them. They were a lot better in the second half. But Pedro Porro, with the assistance of Mawani, and everyone's going to rave about Mawani getting forward and taking players on and beating his man. But he got back and grafted with Pedro Porro, and the two of them should hold their heads high for their defensive partnership against what is a very difficult left-hand side of Aston Villa to compete against.
No, listen, but Porro for me probably had his best game of the season, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, and he was so pumped up as well when he won one of those duels in the 85th minute, and he goes, it's so great to see, isn't it? It's so great.
Listen, when he came over to the fans after the final whistle, he loves it. He's there. Just superb. You just want Porro to play like that week in, week out. Terrific, first class. And interesting that when he brought Spence on, he kept Porro right back. He was playing so well, and he pushed Spence in front of Porro.
Yeah, that's what I said. I wanted to see it the other way around, though. But he made the runs. He made the runs,
didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. And Johnny, funny
because he's a coach. He's a coach, and he can think outside the box, which is good to see. That it may be there will come a game. Excuse me, I just had a coughing fit. There might be a time in a game where we need to get the goal, and he can think outside the box and make a move like that throws the opposition. I can see it happening again.
No, for sure. Listen, we saw Spence score that goal at Ipswich, didn't we? When he marauded down the left, played a quick 1-2 with Maddison, and hit the back of the net at Ipswich last season.
And at Coventry, did the similar with a run.
Yeah. So for me, the two of them I thought linked up very well. I think they linked up very well, and Spence reacted to Porro. He was making runs for Porro, and Porro was finding him every time. No, first class, really, really good. I mean, yesterday was one of those days that they played well. They all played well. There wasn't one player you can turn around and say he was a bit below par. You could see he was slightly off. They were all on their game.
It's funny you say that. We're going to come to those guys in a second, because I'm someone that's defended or backed my boy for a long time. And most people like Matisse Tell played really well yesterday. I didn't think so. I thought he was a bit frustrating up against a sprightly Matty Cash, but we'll come to them as we move forward. Stel, just quickly before I bring in Destiny Udogi's side, Pedro Porro, when he's up for it, I always feel like Tottenham played better. How do you see his performance yesterday?
Isn't it amazing when a manager tells them we can win the next 5 games, as opposed to we're going to lose 10 games, we're going to draw 20 games, we're going to lose, it's all psychology. The manager's come in and he said we can win 5 games. That's it. Previous manager was, percentages here, percentages there. And I just think that Porro, he was a good player at Lisbon, really good fullback. He's come to Spurs. He started well, but then he was asked to invert as opposed to overlap, which wasn't his game, and the inverting didn't work. Then Frank came in and completely stifled the attack. Now you've got a manager that's saying, you're a fullback, play like a fullback. The ZERBI'S just doing all the right things, the simple things, and he's encouraging our fullbacks to play like fullbacks. And I think when a player gets to play to their best ability by doing what they have always been good at, I think it improves other parts of their games because their confidence goes up. So his confidence levels have gone up a little notch, and you're seeing it in his overall play. And, he's loving it again. He's always been a good player. He's never been a great defender, but he's always been a capable player. I'm sure there was a season I was measuring the goals and the assists, and in the season before last, Pedro Porro was, him and Heung-min Son had the most number of goals and assists combined GA against the top 10 teams. So there's clearly a player there. It's been stifled out of him for the last couple of years. So
I also think his confidence has been rattled. I think he's been arguing with players. He looks like he's angry a lot of the time, but when he's happy and he's pumped up, and I think that the last 10 months of his Tottenham career have been his most difficult. But I think if he gets under the tutelage, I agree with you, Stel. If the ZERBI can get him back to his best, I think that his ability to spray, and to cross the ball onto a sixpence. I mean, he gets us out of trouble so many times with his ability to whip that ball in. But he has to continue to improve on his defensive side because he's always a perennial target. But yesterday, like 8 duels out of 8 against Morgan Rogers, unbelievable. Let's Johnny, let me ask you about Destiny Doggy. Let's flip to the left-hand side, getting him back in the team. Listen, no disrespect to Jed Spence. I think Jed Spence always does a very tidy job and does his best and offers a lot in terms of moving forward. But in terms of balance, it's limiting with Jed Spence on the left-hand side, and it forces a skew in the tactics. Destiny Doggy just brings it back left-footed, left side, and he can connect well with the guy in front of him. What was your thoughts on Destiny?
Just the same as what would happen if you played Destiny Doggy on the right-hand side and asked him to do exactly the same thing. But I said, I think it was the first game he played for De Zerbi, I straight away could see what he was trying to do. The amount of runs he was making beyond the midfield, supporting that left-hand side, going sometimes beyond the strikers, because what he's doing is making that run. He's drawing players out and allowing whoever's on that left-hand side to also cut in. So he's creating space, creating pockets, and he was in a situation where he was actually winning balls. I think he's going to score before the end of the season. I just feel like he's getting in those positions.
Look at that heat map. It's just what you want out of a left back, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look out. He made so many runs beyond the man. And I think he's just going to get better because bearing in mind, he's been out for a while. Luckily, he's got 8 days break in between each game to recover. But I think you'll see stronger Destiny game by game as long as he doesn't get injured. But you can see the runs there where he's picking that ball up.
100% passing accuracy as well, and 17 out of 17 in the opposition half. I mean, you love to see that from a fullback.
I thought he was superb personally. But
2 passes that led to a shot as well. Just a very, very impressive performance from him. Keeping him fit is a real challenge.
100%. Well, it gets balanced. Let's be honest let's be fair to Jed Spence, right? It's all about balance, and what we looked at is the midfield looks more balanced with Conor Gallagher playing in the middle instead of playing on the right-hand side, which is not where he should be playing. The balance between the 3 midfielders, the balance of Pedro Porro getting in the positions he should, the balance of Destiny Doggy playing on the left, getting forward and causing havoc, 2 wingers offering space, and a centre forward that's working right, basically on the last shoulder of the man. It's everything I want to see, basically. Be honest.
Yeah, Lubo.
Well, playing Udogie yesterday, you saw he gave complete balance to the whole team. Not just in defence, but the whole defence and attack. I'll just give you 2 examples of Udogie's runs that he is so good at. Number one, the one attack we had second half in Bilbao when he laid the ball off and Solanke miscontrolled it. That was a break by Udogie. The run at Sunderland when he got taken out on the edge of the box and the ref just waved play on like he did with everything else at the Stadium of Lights. And you just thought you could see those runs, and he was making the runs again. De Zerbi's told him that he's dangerous, he's fit, he's fast, he's powerful. When he gets into his stride, there aren't going to be many people that are going to keep up with him. The one problem is, and his one Achilles heel, is that he's made of glass.
Yeah,
and he just keeps getting injured. And it's such a shame because it's blighting his career. These injuries are just blighting his career, and he could be
Reece James type stuff, isn't it? Not the same injury, but similar sort of just wear and tear.
No, loved him yesterday. I thought he made such a difference playing there on the left. I like Spence as a player, but Spence, as we saw yesterday, I think also playing further forward, Spence is so much better when he's playing on his natural foot.
100%. Just quickly on Destiny Doggy before we do some super chats. There's been quite a decent level of debate in the last couple of months around what do we do with Destiny Doggy at the end of the season. Not so much because of people not liking the player, but just not liking his availability. would you guys be okay with selling him? And if so, is Andy Robertson a suitable replacement, or is that going to be a limiting factor?
No, if you're going to listen, if you can only sell Destiny, in my opinion, sorry to jump in, but you can only sell Destiny Udogie if you're buying a top left back. We cannot be relying on Robinson at 32, 33.
Yeah.
33. Yeah, sorry, I can't be
Do you know
doing
what,
that.
Johnny,
And then,
bring him in on a free to bring Robertson on.
no, I don't have a problem
On a free with Udogie. I think he'll bring a winning mentality. He'll bring a professionalism with him, and I think he'll push Udogie on as well.
No. That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't sell Udogie unless you're telling me you're going to be buying a top left-sided player, and he's going to be there in the background as a backup. But 100%, it's all about balance. We've been the most unbalanced team this season. And, we're seeing balance. He's putting square pegs in round holes. He's not trying to reinvent the wheel. And when he did try to do something different yesterday, it was purely, what I asked to do, but the other way round, put Jed Spence at right back and push Pedro Porro forward. I just think Pedro Porro is so dangerous in that final third, whipping balls in.
He can do that as a fullback anyway. So I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I know, but he can also, if you're looking for some stability as well on that right hand side, if you've got a threat down that right hand side and going double up, I think for me that's what I would be doing if I've got a big threat down the right hand down that side. But it's very good.
What he's done to Zerbi is that he's done the same as Carrick. He's looked at his playing staff. And he's putting players in their right positions, which unfortunately, due to injuries, we didn't have that luxury, in the previous 2/3 of the season, 3/4 of the season. But listen, it's all part of what De Zerbi's doing, and it seems to be, people will say it's a bounce. I don't think it's a bounce. I think what you're seeing at the moment is solid improvements, genuinely solid improvement. The players are,
they're engaged, mate. They're up for it. They're
engaged. And you know what, Sean? I looked at the team the way it was set up. There was one part in the second half. I was having a chat with my son, and you could see the way there were no gaps between players. They were all organised properly, giving Villa no space to work their way through them. And that is De Zerbi. That's what he's doing. And what he's doing is with the high press, keeping things tight, he's got different players, and it's very different in terms of he's got different players, but the style with the high press and moving the ball quickly is not dissimilar to what Pochettino was doing at Spurs.
And you can make an argument Postecoglou as well. Some of that play yesterday, and he was doing nice little intricate triangles and then bouncing the ball around. It looked like some of it was so nice on the eye. It reminded me of the early stages of Postecoglou, but Postecoglou didn't have the defensive reinforcement, and he just had a sort of gung-ho approach to it. You're right, Lubo. It was early, Pochettino, prime Pochettino in moments. Obviously, it's early days, and it was against a very poor, disinterested Villa.
But you know what, John? The difference between De Zerbi and Postecoglou is that if we lose the ball on the edge of the box to them, we're not wide open for them to just break it and just hit the long ball down the channel. Away you go. We're a goal down.
We never closed them down. That's the problem. Under Ange, he didn't care about defending. He didn't care about that sort of element of the game. There has to be a balance. And as you mentioned last week, Lubo, we've only conceded up until yesterday's game. We'd only conceded 7 shots in the 3 games. Yeah. So
now it's 8, Johnny. Now it's 8 and 4.
Yeah, so 8 and 4. And, we were a club that was conceding 8 in 1 game at times, So I take my hat off to him, Long may it be that Kinski hasn't got to do anything other than use his feet for the remainder of the season.
And you know what? When you compare yesterday, to Forest 6 weeks ago, what a difference!
Yeah,
what a difference!
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's see if we carry it on against Leeds, because we got our away form is is very impressive. Our home form's not so great. Let me just do some super chats, guys, and then we'll come back into this conversation. Big up to Ledley's Knees. Very nice for you, mate. He's put in. Can't wait to pump Chelsea. De Zerbi spying today. Yeah, it was in the executive box. I saw Chelsea fans weren't particularly impressed with that. It's interesting. Big up to them. We'll have to talk about the. Well, actually, we've got time before the Chelsea game. We can talk about that next week, can't we? Big up to you, Ledley. Thank you very much indeed. CJI 8793, I think that is, or CJL 8793. Big up to you, buddy. He says, "Happy birthday, Stel." Very generous, by the way. He said, "It's my birthday today as well, mate. I'm 58." Many
you're
happy
young.
returns.
You're younger than Stel, then.
Happy birthday, CJL.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Don't
birthday,
forget
CJ.
Yeah, big up to you. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Very cool of you. Enjoy your birthday, mate. Enjoy your birthday. Stephen J. Cam says, big up, guys. We need some De Zerbi magic sprinkled over our home hoodoo now. It will not be a miracle if we win all out home games.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? And when did he say that? Because if he said it before the Brighton game, then that's...
He said it before the Villa game that it wouldn't be a miracle if we won at Villa.
Yeah.
He said we can win our next 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we won 2. So, fingers crossed, we keep going.
Yeah. The home form, though, is important. If we beat Leeds, then I think we beat Everton. If we don't beat Leeds, I think the Everton game, especially if there's something riding on it, I think that's squeaky bum time massively. Big up to you, Stephen. Thank you.
Have you seen the stats? We are the 3rd best team in the league away from home, and the 20th with the worst at home.
By a mile, we're the worst by a mile. Yeah.
How are we the 3rd best team away from home? That's just nuts.
I don't know. Stadium's
We're the
cursed,
3rd best in corners, though. We used to be the worst.
Yeah. Big up to Chudini. Thank you very much, my man. Super sticker train is well and truly commenced. Choo to you, Chudini. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much for your support. Always here, always supporting. A user says, stick with this team till the end of the season.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, no need to pivot, right? Not yet. Big up to you, A user. Thank you very much indeed. He's come back in with another one as well. Big up to you. He says, all hater channels, stick it where the sun don't shine. Who are these hater channels that you speak of? I don't know who these hater channels are.
Name and shame.
Does he mean I think he's talking about the channels that have all been cheering us on to go down, like the rival channel fans. And I think maybe Talk Sport as well have been goading, haven't they? Sam Matterface.
Sorry, did you just say the channels that are goading for us to go down? Did you just say that with a straight face?
Kind of a little bit like a quarter of us.
Delegation.
Well, yeah, it's at me. It's at me. I mean, thank you.
We're 25% hater channel, apparently. Big up to you, hey, user.
Hey,
Big up to you, mate.
Listen, at least I've generated some income.
There you go.
That's true. Well done, mate. We appreciate the income. Big up to you, buddy. Thank you, hey, user. Big up to Bookie TV. He says, happy birthday, Stel. It's my 31st tomorrow. Good age, mate. I missed 31. Missed 31.
Birthday.
Quick question. Do you think Spurs will upgrade on the striker position? If so, who would you bring in? That's an interesting topic. We might as well have a little chinwag about that. If we, presuming we stay up, what would you do? We've already said that we would like to probably sell both of what we've got, but
do you know what
they're both improvable upon anyway.
Igor Thiago.
Do you know what?
Or Broby.
Yeah, great.
No thanks.
I think we've got to be realistic with what's available out there, and it's going to be such a hard thing to find a striker. What I would personally do, and it is a bit of a punt, but I think it's a punt worth taking. Delap hasn't worked out at Chelsea.
Oh my God, he's just been shocking, Stel. He's just been shocking. I've watched so many games. Chelsea fans.
Johnny, let me finish before Johnny. You come flying in.
Go on.
Let me finish the sentence.
Go on.
I said, when he was at Ipswich, he was a really good player.
He was
really
good.
good. He's gone to Chelsea. Chelsea is a complete and utter shit show. It is a shocking club to be playing for right now. They are more disjointed and disorganised than us. They're on course to do a Tottenham next season, the way they're going. I think there's a lot of talent in that club, including Pedro, who scored for them today. The Pedros and the Delaps, under a proper coach, I think can do something in this league, and they've both got Premier League experience. I wouldn't mind a Delap coming to Spurs under De Zerbi, under this manager. I think it's because he was good at Ipswich. He hasn't suddenly become shit. He's in a shit environment. A bit like a lot of our players that everyone's called shit. Suddenly everyone's, they look a bit better now, don't they? I would take a punt on Delap, and I think it's a punt worth taking. And I think it's a play we can actually get. I'm being realistic. I think we can get him.
I don't actually hate that.
Now you can go, Johnny.
I don't think I don't hate that idea. I genuinely agree with everything you just said. I remember the player at Ipswich that bullied people off the ball, that had quick feet, that put ball top bins. He hasn't become a bad player overnight. He's in an environment of toxicity where people aren't going to like it, but I think that's actually quite reasonable. I think it's a reasonable take.
Depends what type of strike you're going for. He moves like a cruise liner, trying to change direction in the Suez, mate. Honestly, if you're going for an out-and-out target man, I get you what you're saying, but I would be happy to take him if we had a mobile striker to go with him. Do you know what I mean?
Johnny, Yao Pedro?
Well, Yao Pedro, I wanted him when he was at Watford, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, Yao Pedro, forget Yao Pedro. He's not coming to
us. Was he with De Zerbi?
Yeah, he was at Watford, mate. Listen, I'm not going back about it, but my mate tried to bring him here to the big clubs. He ended up going to Watford, and I wanted him when he was at Watford, and he's gone to Brighton, and still, only Chelsea came in for him. He's a class act, Yao Pedro. He's got great control for a big man, and he can score a goal. There's so many good players.
But Chelsea aren't going to sell to Tottenham anyway. So
no Chelsea. There's no way.
But guys, this is my point. This is the point I'm making. I would love João Pedro. It's a no-brainer. The reason I'm saying Delap, it's a doable transfer. It's a transfer that can actually happen. Like if we're gonna say what strikers do we want?
How much would you pay for him? Would you pay for the 50-60 million pound that they want for him?
No, they bought him for 25 million.
Yeah, I know, but they're not selling him for that.
Well, have they?
Yeah. Mate, financially, if they don't get Champions League, they're not going to have a choice. They might have to, they might have a mini fire sale themselves.
I'd do 35. I think 35 million quid for Liam. I think he's young. He's got quick feet. He might not be. And actually, I don't necessarily agree with you that he's a slouch, mate. He was. I remember I remember seeing Ipswich like he was good. Teams up. Really good player. He's got quick feet. He managed to get the ball out of his feet and put it top bins loads of times. He's a big lad as well. He's a handful in the air. I didn't say that. I said don't know what's happened to him. I know what you say. Let me finish the point, John. Yeah. I think he's an absolute handful in many departments. I don't know what's happened to him at Chelsea. I know obviously he had his hamstring or whatever it was that went early. But a lot of people just go to clubs and it doesn't work out. Horses for courses. Maybe he's just crowded out by the talent. Maybe they're just a toxic environment. But I think he's
Chelsea's a mess. Chelsea's a mess. It's a merry-go-round of managers. There's no identity. The transfer policy is shambolic. In fact, they had a good manager in Maresca, and he walked out saying, 100%. "I can't work under this." So
100%
is the ownership has wrecked the club. Now, Delap is a victim of that arrangement, as are many other players at Chelsea as well. So I look, I'm not saying he would be the solution, but I think it's one we should explore.
Yeah. I think the other thing also, guys, is that Levy's gone, Abramovich's team have gone. So, you may get the new owners of both clubs being more willing to work together on transfers, being more open to it.
Can I just say,
is it 1-1 or was it offside, by the way?
It's offside. I'm sure it's offside. Can I just say, I was a fan of that. What I'm trying to say is I'm happy. It's a goal.
Oh, well, okay.
That's it. Season over. He passed to Mark Gay. He passed to him. They've not been anywhere near it. Anyway, what I was going to say to you, he looked miles offside. I was a big fan of Delap. What I'm saying to you is I don't mind having Delap, but I need a foil. I need someone with pace that's going to feed off of him. I like a guy who can win in the air, but someone who's got some pace as well. That's such a shocking goal, man. Honestly.
The other forward.
Who would you go for, Johnny? Who would you go for, Johnny?
That's the problem.
A player in mind.
That's the problem. I think I'd be more inclined to go Igor Thiago than Delap personally. But
what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Ramos at PSG? Who's not really? He doesn't get a look in there, does he? With that front three,
Yeah, he's a quality player.
I don't think he's going to come to Spurs.
He's not going to come to Spurs. He's on massive wages as well. He's on like 280 grand a week or some bollocks. He's not going to come.
Mate,
Again, but all of the indications of what we've seen so far is in a world where Tottenham stay up, all we can look forward to is free transfers. Don't get me wrong, Senesi's a baller. I'm very excited to have him if he comes in. Yeah. Andy Robertson, I don't think that De Zerbi's going to want to work with Andy Robertson. I feel like that's a weird one to me. I feel like he probably want to go and get his Stupinan back from his Brighton days. He's now playing in Italy, and he's a cheaper option because he can play more like the way that Destiny Doggy can. Andy Robertson can't do the things that De Zerbi would ask, but this is a weird one for me, that one, if that's true. And all the other, we would link with that goalkeeper that's 36, and we link with Tavernier from Rangers, who's a free transfer, who's also 35. And all of those are predicated on the notion that Tottenham are staying up. So, like, are we preparing ourselves for like a free transfer summer?
Well, hold
and
on.
If so, like Gonzalo Ramos, I forget that. Forget that.
Then we've got a problem because this is what De Zerbi said. In the summer, we can do everything. We've a lot of time to spend speaking about football, transfer markets, about everything. So that's not what De Zerbi's saying.
He's going to run that. He's going to run the transfer window. I don't see Lange being involved personally. I think Lange.
Well, with how much money? I guess it's predicated on sales, right? If you sell Van der Ven, if you sell Romero, if you sell whoever else, Porro, if you sell Richarlison, if you sell Vicario, you might be able to raise like 180 million quid. And as long as all of that gets recycled into De Zerbi's budget, then fair enough. But as far as we're aware, what's his name? Ornstein has come out and said Senesi's done if we stay up. Robertson's done if we stay up. And then there's rumours about the other two as well. And it's I don't mind. Senesi's fantastic. If you can get Senesi on a free transfer, it's fucking great transfer value. Brilliant.
Who would he replace, Romero or Van der Ven?
Van der Ven. He's a left-sided player.
Do you know what? I would also, I would bid for the striker for Leeds.
Okafor. Okafor's class. I do like. He's a left winger kind of cuttering guy. But
do you know what? I thought
you were about to say Dominic Calvert bloody Lewin then.
Well,
still.
do you remember everyone was going, please? Yeah, but hang on a second. Everyone was going, please don't sign Dominic Calvert Lewin. I mean, could you imagine? Like everyone sighed a big sigh of relief when he signed for Leeds, and now look at it. I mean, everyone could have done with those goals. Man City are on the floor, mate. Fucking joke.
It's gone and it's done.
How much time is left?
It's 2-1 to Everton, Sean.
How much time is left in the game?
20 minutes.
Yeah, it's done, mate. Yeah, it's done.
You know what? That might mean Arsenal can. I hope they won't, but that might mean Arsenal, West Ham. It's a different
100%.
Do you know what? Arteta will want them to ram the advantage home on Sunday.
Don't worry, mate. They don't need to. They don't need to now. They can afford to lose to West Ham and still win.
Well,
dog shit.
What's the striker for oh, you said Thiago, didn't you? The Brentford guy,
yeah, he'll cost you 80 million though. And why would he leave? Yeah. Brentford are on the up. Tottenham are a fucking mess.
Do you know with Iriola leaving Bournemouth? By the way, what a manager he is! People that say he's overhyped, I don't understand. He loses his best players every year, and he continues to take them further, bigger and better. Do you reckon there's any players of Bournemouth we could pick off who would feel like they'd want to move now that Iriola's moved on as well? Or do you think they'd stay at Bournemouth knowing that they're going to play?
I'd say the one player I'd love. The one player I'd love out of Bournemouth.
Alex Scott. You're going to tell me. I knew you were going to say that, mate.
Yeah. Yes, he's a Spurs fan as well.
Yeah.
Can I just say another bad thing about this result? If it stays like this tonight, it means Everton are massively in the mix.
Yeah.
For top six, which means that game for us against Everton.
Yeah. Just told you, Johnny. I said today, this race has got a lot more twists and turns yet.
Nah, mate. No, it's done, mate. Honestly, it's dumb.
No, I mean, all of the twists and turns,
relegation
all of the connotations, like Everton winning, all this shit.
Relegation, 100%.
20, like an hour and a half ago, Tottenham fans were like, "We're staying up." Now everyone's going to be on Twitter going, "Oh, for fun, we're going down again." I mean, Bournemouth.
I knew this was a tough game for Man City.
You take Senesi, you definitely take Scott. You take, he said Scott's an improvement. You take Krupi. I'd take Evan Nilsson, to be honest. I rate Evan Nilsson. I think he's a good player. You'd probably take Rayan, but he's not leaving. That's probably about it, I reckon.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. I wouldn't take Tavernier. I wouldn't take.
They haven't lost a game since Semenya left.
Yeah. Is that right? Is that really? Okay, now.
Not left.
I know they're draw specialists, aren't they?
It's like Bournemouth really missed Solanke.
They lost
Kirkes or Huyson, right? Or the other guy that went to PSG.
Johnny, they lose everybody. They lose all their top players and they just get better and better. Iriola is a top quality coach. He truly is. He's proven it. He's brilliant. Imagine he actually had some backing. Imagine he kept the players that he lost.
Yeah, he must have had a bid that he's accepted in order to sell Bournemouth so early.
If Man United don't snap him up, they're idiots.
I reckon it's done. I reckon he's going to Bilbao.
Bilbao,
which is where he's from. Yeah,
mate, he can go to much better than Bilbao. He can go to much better. I think Man United might snap him up. You know,
I think Glasner will go to United.
Iriola's a better.
I've got to tell you something. I must tell you still. Honestly, I think Carrick will get the job. I think he'll get the job. I think he's done such a brilliant job there.
Should have anointed him ages ago, though, Lubo. They've had enough chances to have told him about the job, but they still haven't given it to him. So,
but you know what, Johnny, they gave Solskjaer the job after 3 or 4 games, didn't they? And I think they just probably want to wait and see. They just want to see how the season pans out. But look. I mean, they won again yesterday. They're third in the. They'll finish third, no question about it. He's done an amazing job there, Carrick. He's just gone in there and
when Carrick went Man United,
it was a red card.
And I was saying to you, look what he's doing, and you weren't having it.
With who? Sorry, with who?
Carrick.
Look
at the way he's got to moving the ball. Yeah.
Still, I said on this show in December, I wanted Carrick with Redknapp if and when Frank left. Carrick went.
I think Carrick is good, but I don't think he's someone you want for a longer term project because he's still not proven at that. Because he started off well at Middlesbrough, then it began to fizzle out after a couple of years. I think United needs someone that's got longevity, and Iriola has proven he's got longevity in this league with hardly any losses.
But you know what? For someone who comes from the Basque region to manage Atletico Bilbao, still, it's a bit like Bobby Robson managing Newcastle.
You know what? He could. There's people in the chat saying Real Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Real Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, Perez wants Mourinho, doesn't he? The chairman.
That's that. I don't believe that. Mourinho's done.
The thing is, still they've got a problem there with massive egos in that Real Madrid dressing room, and no one can cope with them. And the thing is, Mourinho's someone who can go in and get order again. I think definitely.
Because they're falling. It'll be the first time I think in La Liga history that a team has won the league by winning the El Clasico this weekend. I think that is that's the possibility. And Barcelona, I think they're 9 points clear. I mean, they've killed Madrid this year.
I'll tell you what, Lubo. Bringing it back to Spurs, my Chelsea mates, they're really, really pissed off. Really pissed off. Not just their club is falling apart. They're gutted that we got De Zerbi. They really wanted De Zerbi. The Chelsea lot wanted De Zerbi as their coach. They're fucked off that we got him, which makes me feel good because I like it when they're not happy.
Who do you think will go to Chelsea in the summer?
Jesus.
Sean, you'd have to be mental to go to that club right now.
Yeah,
you'd have to be mad.
Or incredibly greedy and take advantage of incredibly desperate owners. But you'd have to also bake into your contract. You cannot get involved in transfer policy. You can't be telling me that I have to play players a certain period of, a certain amount of minutes. You can't be getting involved in team selection. You can't be getting involved in substitutes. You can't be inferring via your medical team. And they've obviously employed a doctor who has got the, like, allegedly, he's got the kind of like the what's it called, the Hippocratic Oath. He doesn't take it too seriously because the medical team is like the doctor is like telling Maresca, you need to get this player off and this player needs to have minutes. And that was clearly coming from the top as a way to massage and manipulate the transfer values because they spent so much money on these kids and they need to inflate the overall prices. Like if you're a medic and you're doing that, then that's not really, it's really poor behaviour, isn't it? You're supposed to be trustworthy.
Listen, Sean, Poch had that problem with Gallagher. You butt out, we're selling the captain, we're going to make a healthy profit on him. And he went to Atletico Madrid. Maresca wanted greater control. He went. They brought Rosina in, who the players looked on as a bit of a puppet and got no respect. And we saw what happened with Rosina. He was gone in 3 months. So Chelsea's owners have got a massive problem in terms of where they go next, because how they are running the club is not conducive to sustainability in terms of having having a successful team in the Premier League. So you'd have to be crackers to go to Chelsea, to go in and just be and just want to be a coach with no say as to what players you got. So you're actually being judged. Your job's on the line. And you're having to pick players that you've got no control over. Some you might be happy with and some you won't. That's ridiculous. That's just an impossible. That's the impossible job. So listen, they've had enough success over the years. I don't cry at all for Chelsea, thankfully. And cool. Another walloping today, wasn't it? Forest at home. So.
Mate, that Pereira, he went into Forest, grabbed them by the scruff of the neck. Do you know they're the informed team? It's literally win, draw, win, 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 win. They beat Villa as well midweek in the Europa Cup. I wouldn't be surprised if Forest knock out Villa and go to the final of the Europa Cup. Honestly, he's doing a great job. He's doing a brilliant job.
I looked at the last six. I looked at the last 6 games, the form guide for the last 6 games this morning. And Forest are up with City, I think, on 14 points, 4 wins, 2 draws.
And Leeds, mate, look at Leeds' form the last 5 games.
Yeah. Listen, it's a massive game on Monday, but I do think that if we win, Newcastle also are now back in the running for Europe. They're 3 points off 9th place, which potentially is a European spot, which is where Chelsea are. Newcastle go to Forest, then they've got West Ham. So, Newcastle could be banging the frame for European spots if they win those 2. So it's building up. It's going to be a very, very interesting 3 weeks we got coming up. Very interesting. So
I think if we beat Leeds United, then we are going to stay up, because the way I look at it is we've got a 1-point advantage on West Ham. I think West Ham at best get a draw against Arsenal. I don't think they'll beat Arsenal. I think they might, if they're lucky, get a draw. So if they get a draw, it's even Stevens. But if we get a win against Leeds, not only are we 3 points ahead, our goal difference acts almost like another game. So with 2 games to go, we're 3 points ahead plus that goal difference. So I think on the assumption that West Ham at best draw against Arsenal, probably lose. If we beat Leeds, we stay up. I honestly believe if we beat Leeds, we will stay up.
Everton's become a much harder game. You see, I mean, I'm watching how they played tonight and how they were very unlucky in their last game, in a last-minute goal defeat by Liverpool, which they didn't deserve. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think if we don't beat Leeds, on Monday, we will struggle to stay up. I really do believe that.
But Johnny, you look at West Ham, okay? Where
Yeah,
are
but
they
you
gonna
forget
get
the game,
up?
mate. Goes out the window, though. That's what I'm saying. It's a cup final. It's all or nothing. It's literally all or nothing still. I hear what you're saying. Arsenal should absolutely steamroll West Ham. 100%. 9 games out of 10. Yeah? But it's football.
No, you're right. Look, you're right. Anything can happen. Every game's a cup final now. I do believe, though, if we beat Leeds, I think we've done enough. I think that will be the game where that will keep us up. And against Everton, Johnny, if it came down to the last game of the season, I honestly think the fans will get the team over the line in that game. I think it will mean so much to those fans.
Depends if they're going for Champions League football. If they're going for Champions League football and West Ham finished 5th, then it's a different game. If they're already in Europe, I hear you, right? They won't need to press any buttons, you know?
If we don't beat Leeds, if we just draw, then I think it's anyone's. Then I think it literally is anyone's if we draw to Leeds. Because then I do see the world where West Ham can get that one win, whether it's against.
I think they'll beat Leeds. Yeah,
they'll beat Leeds, but I see. I thought they might do something away to Newcastle, but Newcastle, that win the other day, I don't know. They're back in it again, aren't they, Newcastle?
You know what it was? Still, the owners came across. Was it Abu Dhabi that they're from? The owners.
They came over 2 weeks ago. That's right.
Yeah, that's right for their annual review, and all of a sudden, Newcastle players are putting their finger out, and also Bruno's back, which is a massive help for them. He's a big player for Newcastle, and he's now fit. So for me,
do you still have the predictions the predictions notes from last week?
Yes, they'll be here.
Was it me that was the most bullish?
Was it you that was the most bullish?
I think I said 8 points from our final 5 games, was it? Or 4
you
games?
did. You said we'd get 8 points.
I'm 40% of the way there, boys. What are we doing?
Lubo, when we predicted these points, how many games were left when we said this?
4.
It was last week.
Last Monday.
So starting against Villa. Villa was the first game.
Starting against Villa, yeah, that's correct. Okay. Let me see if I can find all the scores.
Yeah, I said I think we're beating Villa. I said we're beating Leeds. No, I said a draw against Villa. I said a draw against Villa. I said we're drawing against Chelsea. We're beating Leeds. We're beating Everton.
Yeah, Sean, you had 2 away draws, 2 home wins. I had 2 home wins, 2 away defeats. But I also put West Ham down for 3 defeats and a win against Leeds, so that we finished up with 40 points and West Ham finished with 39.
So Sean predicted 8 points. You predicted 6. What did you and I predict?
I think you and Johnny were 3 or 4, and relegation for the 2 of you. So listen, who knows? Who knows? Listen, I walked out. I walked out of the ground yesterday. You carried away.
I think Spurs are going to stay up, Lubo. You can feel there's been a little.
I think so.
Do you know what? When we drew against Brighton, and everyone said, "Oh, something's changing," you can see it. And I said, "Guys, we do this all the time. Can we just see how we go the next game?" Then we played Wolves, and we were dog shit.
Yeah,
but we got a win. After this game now, there's a pattern where the momentum has shifted because you've got draw, win. Yeah. That is a change. That is a momentum shift. It's a small one, but there's a shift. So after 3 games, you could say that you fancy Spurs to stay up because I think the pendulum swung our way, and that hammering West Ham took, that's going to hurt them. That's really going to dent them. I do think there's been a pendulum switch. in our favour.
I must say something.
And
I've got to say, I must say that after finishing runners up 3 years running, I think Arteta is going to be absolutely ruthless, and he's going to say to them, right, get out there and hammer West Ham. Let's get the goal difference up so much that even if we do slip and lose one game, we'll be miles ahead of City. So for me, listen, they're 6 goals. I think they're 7 goals better off, and they've dropped 3 points less, and they're 6 points ahead of them. I've got all the figures here for before Tudor as well. When it was, I said 18, Sean said 15, Johnny said 15, still you said 12 points from those games. So yeah. So where are we?
Butler's always going to win.
Do
you
what does everyone?
I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want from me. 2 different channels, been number 1 from game week 1. I don't think you guys are going to catch me. Congratulations on Johnny for closing the gap on everybody else. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get that out of the way. So have a look at it. Sean Butler, top of the pops. He's almost uncatchable. He's almost uncatchable now. 3 games to play.
9
a
points.
4-point
There's
lead.
9 points. There's 9
Yeah,
points.
you've got to be perfect, mate. You've only got 16 points all bloody season. In 35 games, you've got 16 points. You think you're going to get 9 in the final 3? What are we doing here?
Mathematically, everyone can catch you.
Yeah, but
Everyone.
Also logically, given on your past performance, you couldn't catch a cold.
I love the fighting talk, and when one of us does catch you, whoever that person is, I'm gonna give them a present. Whether it's me, Johnny, one of us are gonna catch you. Johnny is mathematically back in the hunt.
He's back in the hunt.
Out from oblivion.
Yeah. What did you say? You said 2-1, Johnny. What did everyone else say? I said 1-1. Stel went for a loss. What did Luke? You went for a loss as well, Lubo, didn't you?
Lubo and I both predicted a 2-1 loss. Johnny went 2-1 win.
Yeah.
You were going to go 2-1 win, and you said no, I can't. There's points. I need to be different. Then you changed it to 1-1.
That's right. Yeah.
You could have.
I would have extended. I would have cemented myself for the champion. Never mind.
You would have had one hand on that trophy, Sean. But you bottled it. You bottled it. So.
Listen,
game 1.
Listen,
we fight.
Are we going for Leeds? Arsenal won the title. Or are we going for Leeds? Have you had an early?
We'll do it on Thursday.
I won't be here on Thursday, unfortunately, this week.
We'll do it now then.
Can do it now.
Yeah, but hold on. We might hold on 1 minute. There might be new information between now and Thursday, like a Van der Ven injury in training, or
it's not gonna, unless it's a De Zerbi injury, mate. It's not going to change my prediction.
I must tell you something. Bentancur and Van der Ven. Van der Ven rolled his ankle, and Bentancur got a knock as well and went off injured. So
yeah, they've both been given the dreaded green light from our manager.
Right.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even finish the team. We haven't given any plaudits at all to the centre backs or to a couple of the midfielders either. Danzo amazing in the air. Mickey Van der Ven clearing up his messes at times. I mean, nice little dovetailing between the two boys. What are we saying there, Johnny? I'll start with you. You haven't spoken in a while, mate.
Yeah, I thought Danzo did well in the air, but there was a couple of moments where he had a brain fart, and there was one where Mickey came in from that left-hand side with an absolutely like an Exocet missile and took everything out, took the ball, took the man, but after the ball, obviously, and cleared it up. So I thought he had a good game. He hasn't got great pace, and Mickey needs to be there with him to clear up. But they look more assured. I just think that maybe they'll be given a lot more. I don't think there was any real threat against Wolves. And I don't think really Tammy Abraham looked much of a threat to them at all throughout the game. And Ollie Watkins came on late. But I think that Calvert-Lewin and Okafor will be more of a threat pace wise, and that's where we're going to need to rely on Mickey van der Ven. But listen, it's about a dovetail, and they dovetail well. And it was unfortunate that we lost the goal near the end.
Cracking header,
Fortunate for me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I bet you were somewhat cheering in your seat.
No, I actually hadn't even
noticed.
No!
Yes.
I hadn't even noticed. I was too busy singing Tottenham away, LA. I didn't even notice that they'd scored. Neither did anyone else. And it didn't stop anyone, singing either. They carried on singing. Didn't stop anybody. So
yeah. I'm devastated. The whole mood of my evening has been ripped apart with Arsenal getting the title handed to them.
Yeah.
We spoke about it earlier, mate, didn't we, Johnny? It's just not an easy fucking game.
Well, I knew it, Everton. And I said, no Rodri, no title.
Yeah. Yeah, you did say that, yeah. So Danso and Mickey van der Ven, we've covered off the keeper, the two fullbacks. We've spoken about Richarlison. I think we've spoken a bit about Moani and Matisse Tell, but in terms of the width that they provide. I didn't want to ask you guys about Matisse Tell because I'm someone who always gives him the credit where give him more credit than other people are willing to. He actually frustrated me a lot yesterday, and I'll tell you why specifically. Before the game, I had Drew on the show, and I was like, look, I like Matisse Tell. I'm looking forward to seeing how he back on the left hand side, he can cut across and cut in and do what left wingers who are right footed like to do. He said, he said to me, the problem is, Sean, that I've noticed with Matisse Tell is that he waits, he gets too close to the fullback, he gets too close to the defender before he tries to cut across. He doesn't charge at them and then cut across early where he can beat the man with his pace. He gets so close to the fullback, and the fullback knows that he is so one-footed and wants to cut in that he'll show him down the outside, and then Matisse Tell will try and cut in, but walk into a guy that's already there, and then end up not cutting across him, but cutting back. And a lot of the time, we'll feed it back to recycle the ball into a horseshoe. So when he takes the guy on and he can beat him, it's great. But if he doesn't do that, he doesn't do the opposite where you cut across and you go forward like Luis Diaz does or someone like that. It's a little, and I watched it. I was like, that sounds a bit specific, but I watched in that first half, and I thought it was a really interesting battle between him and Matty Cash because I thought Cash was the only guy that was up for it.
3-3.
Cool.
Sorry.
3-3.
I was listening, Sean.
How much time left? Wow.
That's it, I think.
Anyway, is that it? So yeah, my point being that I just thought that Matisse Tell for me was a little bit frustrating in that battle. I don't think he came out better, or the better of the two of them between him and Matty Cash. That said, I did think his cross from the left-hand side with his left foot, I didn't know he had a left foot, but he managed to put it on the sixpence for Richarlison to get the second goal. What was your thoughts on Matisse Tell on the day, Lubo?
I thought he had a good game. Like I thought all of them had a good game. I think his decision-making at times was poor. I think there was an early ball into Moani that would have put him clean through. First half, I think I remember, should have been given. He holds on to it a bit too long. I think where he is improving greatly also is that he is not being knocked off the ball. He's holding on to the ball. He's getting himself between the man and the ball. And I think there's a definite improvement there. I think you want game-changing moments. You got one at Wolves where he forced the corner that we scored from, and you got one yesterday where he cut in nicely, put in a pitch of a ball that Richarlison scored, which was ultimately the winning goal. So you can say that Tell has had an impact in both games, which is good, which is what he wants. So he's played like a lot of the kids. They've been played early when they're not ready because of injuries. But you can definitely see Tell moving forward. He is getting, for me, he's improving. I'd like to see him sort of with a real top left winger to learn from next season and get game time. I'm sure that
Johnny, can you turn the commentary off, mate? It will come through. It will demonetize us.
I'm
on your mute. It's fine. Yeah.
I think I think for him, I personally, what would I do? Christ, would I keep him? Yes, I'd keep him. I'd keep him, but I'd get a top left winger in. I think we desperately need one. I think Tell's improving, but you look at other wingers, you would want somebody who's prem proven, who's going to help take us up. And to me, under De Zerbi, I'd be looking to get next season with the right recruitments, with him managing anything from 6th to 8th next season, without.
Wow, you're going that much that soon, 6th to 8th, yeah? Wow.
Providing the recruitment is good.
I'd take mid-table next season. It's just a year of stability. I think that's a reasonable.
Do you know what?
I don't think
there might be.
I
was going to say there might be some sense in Lubo's madness because there's no European football for us next year, and United made 2 or 3 good signings. No European football. Look at them. So you never know. Regarding Sean, I want to see Matthias Tell, Mawani, Solanke, Richarlison, Odegaard, all of them gone. I don't want a single one of them to stay at Spurs.
Well, Odegaard's got an ACL. He's not going anywhere.
No.
Whether it's this year, next year, I don't think any of them are good enough for where I want to see Tottenham.
I think under De Zerbi, though.
Johnny, just the last thing I want to say on this, and then jump in. With Tell and Mawani, I see 2 very similar traits. Lots of pace, the ability to beat a man. They've got some skill, but the end product for me simply isn't good enough for this club. And I don't think that's something that's going to suddenly explode into life. And for that reason, I don't want them at Tottenham Hotspur long term. I don't think they're the future. I get why people are excited at times and why they jump on with positive energy with them, because we've been starved of knowing what a good wide player looks like. Mohamed Kudus has to be the benchmark. That has to be the benchmark. Otherwise, we're just going to be in this loop every single year. So I'd get rid of all of them except for Kudus across the front 3.
Okay.
Interesting fact. De Zerbi went after Mawani when he was manager at Marseille. Couldn't get him. Just saying.
De Zerbi out.
I think we'll be in the middle of. I think the fact that we've got no Europe and De Zerbi being the type of coach that gets a lot more out of the players with a full strength-ish squad, with a proper medical team, 1 game a week, and the chance to prepare a strategy, because he has changed it up in certain games, that we could potentially do much better than we think next season. But we need to make the right acquisitions. And as I said to Sean earlier today, I don't think De Zerbi's anyone's bitch. And I don't think he's going to be interested at all in Johan Lang coming to him and saying, I've got this guy. No. He's not going to be interested. You buy what players I want or not. I mean, listen, they listened to Postecoglou and bought Solanke and Brennan Johnson. And, that was £100 million down to Swanee. So, I trust De Zerbi. When you look at some of the players that he's brought in at the clubs he's worked with before, I think he's got an idea of the type of player he needs. I maybe don't even think it needs to be a world beater, but it's the type of player he knows. He needs, as Sean mentioned before, an Estepinian, who might be a cheaper option who can get forward.
Yeah.
So
I think Estepinian can be bought for 12 million quid in the summer. So he'd be a great addition. I think he's quality
Spurs
player.
bargain, mate. We'll haggle that down to 11.75.
Yeah, why not? He's a quality player. He's very, very good in the Premier League. And he hasn't become a bad. Yeah, same.
How old is he now?
I don't know, 29, 30.
Because you guys,
Estepinian is 28 years old, so he's still
28. Still good.
I desperately believe we need to start signing players. If you're going to play in the front 3, you must have goals in you. You must. Because the best front 3 I ever saw in the Premier League was Firmino, Mane, Salah. Between them, they got 60 goals in a Premier League campaign. It can't just be one player in the front 3 is the one that scores the goals. You know, even when we had
100%.
Dele Alli, Son, and Kane, they all contributed. Again, yet again, another game of football where we're depending on a midfielder for a goal.
But you're going to
Gallagher.
get that from De Zerbi, though. That's what I'm saying. I think look, this isn't De Zerbi ball. Let's be quite
it's
straight
not. We're
here,
not.
right?
It's not.
This
not
is
De Zerbi
recovery ball. This is how do I get across the finishing line and get the points that necessary, any means possible. Next season, this ain't going to be the football. Yes, we'll still have to press. Yes, we'll still be trying to win the ball high up the pitch. But this will not be it. Make no bones about it. And I think next season we'll have games where we smash the opposition, and we'll have games where we get smashed by the opposition in the transition of it all. But yeah, interesting. I must say tonight, because I've bits and bobs and missed some bits. I missed. I saw some bits. I still can't believe that he remained on the pitch after that tackle. I thought it was a red card personally. Have a look at it later. But I think if we stay up, I'm quite confident De Zerbi will get us in probably in the. I think we'll get in Europe, maybe a Europa League place. I do.
Why not? Why not? I think just harking back very quickly to yesterday's game, the one player we haven't mentioned, who I thought was man of the match, who had the most unbelievable engine yesterday, scored a cracking goal, was Conor Gallagher. What a performance!
Have we not mentioned him?
No, what a. I mean, he is a De Zerbi type player, no question.
Was on the money.
I mean, we're watching, and there's just before the attack that led to their goal, he's chasing down their keeper. 93 minutes. It was just incredible.
De Zerbi said when Conor Gallagher plays well, we play with 12 men. I mean, what a compliment that is.
Yeah.
He ran further than anyone in the Premier League this season. I think he beat Gumaresh's over 13 kilometres.
Wow.
He ran.
Wow.
13.6 kilometres, I think he ran.
I've not been happy that we signed him, and I was definitely someone that said, I don't know why we signed him.
I liked him.
On the one performance against Villa, he was very good. His performance against Villa was very, very good. And that first touch, right? Do you know what made that touch so good? He didn't take his eye off the ball. Do you know how many football players, they flinch or they take their eye off the ball at the last minute and then the touch is poor? He kept his eye on that ball the whole time, knowing that a player was trying to shut him down. So, listen, hats off to him. He made that look so easy. That first touch was top. Really, really
Crystal
good.
Palace Gallagher for me.
Super quickly, this was the funniest tweet I saw yesterday. Of all the hilarious tweets of Peppa Pig and everything else, this is the funniest one. This is obviously
Erica.
Eric.
Yeah.
Erica Kirk?
Is it Erica? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie and
Yeah,
Erica
Erica.
Kirk. Yeah. So this one put the guy who put this out said, "This is my feelings on Conor Gallagher after a terrible start to Tottenham Hotspur."
That man, that young man, I forgive him.
It's just absolutely sensational.
Oh my God, that's the worst acting, mate, I've ever seen. It's just shocking.
Some people are fantastic. You know what? I've got the perfect meme for this moment. I forgive you, Conor Gallagher. I forgive you for all you've done at Tottenham since you've been here, which is the square root of absolutely nothing. I love it.
Let's not forget Peppa Pig. Could be the luckiest partnership deal we've done.
The greatest signing ever.
Hey.
You see people doing the Peppa Pig with his middle fingers up to everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
There's been so many Peppa Pig like videos and memes and all sorts going around. There's just been so many of them.
I quite like the De Zerbi Moretti beer flag.
Yeah, that was the best one. That was very good.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, very good. We haven't spoken about Conor Gallagher. I think the last player we haven't spoken about is Ronnie Bentancur. I mean, he's
unbelievable, mate. Don't sign that contract. Why do we want? I can't believe we signed a new contract with Bentancur. Worst decision. This club's absolutely clueless, right? Well, since he's been back, he's probably been the man that's changed it all. I know we've had cameos and what have you, and Paulinho, but he's the guy that makes us tick. He's our Rodri, poor man's Rodri. But, you know, without him, we don't tick in the same way.
I've been very harsh on Rodrigo Bentancur. I've never really felt like he's got back to his best before his injury. But if this is a new version of him, if he can stay fit and keep fit, but he's another one that's injured all the time, isn't he? So,
well, he had a shocking injury, and our medical team didn't help when they asked him to jump up and down after Harry Kane told him, "I heard something." Snap!
He's the reason we're playing Premier League next season.
Oh, Champions League next season. What was it?
Yeah,
He's the reason we're playing Wednesday night next season. That's it.
He's the reason we're playing Premier League next season.
Yeah, update that song. Update that song. All right, guys. Listen, I think that's rounding up. Oh, there's a few more super chats that have snuck in. Sorry, guys, didn't see them. Oh, wow. How did I miss that one? Sanilla, what a unbelievably generous man you are, mate. Every stream, every time I see your name, mate, you're throwing in the money, mate.
Sanilla,
very generous guy.
Sanilla, maximum respect. He was one of the very, 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 very few from day one that was at the protests, and still to the end, when the protest died off, he still turned up. So, mate. So
according to Monday's logic, then Sanilla is also one of the reasons why we are in the mess we are in, because Sanilla has advocated for Daniel Levy's exit, was responsible for Levy's exit, and so now if Daniel Levy was
according to you, Sean,
Sanilla's got away cheap.
According to Sean, protests don't work. So the reason Levy left wasn't because of the protests, because they don't work, right?
No,
the protests don't work, Sean.
Still, Joe Lewis wasn't happy. The sponsors weren't happy with the protests. And I've got to tell you something. Who was one of 150 ever presents? Lewis is looking, they're looking out exactly. Sean Butler.
I'm just doing my bit, mate. I'm just doing my bit. I don't know what you want from me. What more could you want from me? Okay? I don't think they work, but I turn up anyway. It's the sort of guy that I am.
Do you remember at one of the big Change for Tottenham demonstrations last year, Donna Cullen walked past. She looked and she went back inside and she said, "Guys, that Sean Butler of Spurs Talk Show with all those subscribers, he's in there. We've got big problems. Daniel, you better go." And Daniel said, "Fair enough. Look, if Butler wants to be gone."
I heard it. She said to. I heard it. She went in there.
She said, "Butler's there.
I'm the reason.
Butler's there.
We're playing championship football next season."
Yeah.
She ran into the West Stand and told the security guys, "Daniel Levy's YouTube PR guy. He's at the protest.
Right,
Levy's PR man's out there."
He's turned.
Which one? I can't see. Oh, he's the geezer wearing the flip-flop costume.
That's right. Flip-flop Butler. Daniel, you've got problems now. Butler's flip-flop, mate, and he's there protesting against you, mate. You've got big issues.
I was there for the Magnums. Magnums first, concert second, seeing friends third. The protests were an irrelevant part of my attendance, let me be honest. Big up to you, Sonny. I'm very grateful, mate. Very generous. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you, buddy. Very cool of you, man. A-User's back in again. A-User, you do chime in, don't you, mate? I love you, man. He says, "Still, not you, mate, the opposition hater channel." So he's clarified. He wasn't.
You tell him, man. Thank you, A-User. Thank you very much.
Big up to you, A-User. Thank you very much again, my mate. And Adam scored draw lock. A member for 3 months. Big up to you, Adam. How you doing, mate? Hope your holiday. Are you still on holiday, mate? I hope you're enjoying it if you are. He says, "I want Lancashire to be our third striker next year. He definitely deserves a chance. I would love a young goalkeeper like Trafford to come and compete with Kinski." Thoughts on that, guys? Thoughts on, well, we spoke about Kinski, so thoughts about Lancashire?
I think Lancashire,
isn't it? Yeah.
Lancashire with 2 goals and 2 assists. He's got the shoulders of a butterfly swimmer, and we always ask what we've spoken about before. Still, we're talking about before. Players have got the ability to actually bang one from outside the box. He's got the finesse, to get a little touch inside the box, running onto it. And he's also got the opportunity to drop his shoulder and bang one in, as we saw, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I believe he should be coming back and being a part of the squad.
Yeah, I agree.
Me too.
I'd like to see what he's got about him. I think he's good.
He should be the third striker.
How many goals? 12 goals in a relegated team, yeah?
Yeah, the only trouble is we got no European football, so we got to rely on cup games
Or injuries.
or injuries.
And we know we can
We
always
can
rely
rely
on
on that, can't we?
them. We can rely on them for sure. All right, guys, listen, we'll leave it there. Unbelievable birthday show for Stell. He managed to escape a hell of a lot of banter that should have been coming his way this evening. Somehow, Lubo got caught into defending his own argument. Stell's pulled an absolute rabbit out of a hat, avoiding the banter this evening. Lubo, you what happened there, mate? What happened there? You know, I don't know. But listen, we will be back on, what day are we today? Monday. We're back on Thursday. Johnny won't be here, so we'll have to find a couple of ringers, and we'll be back with 5 hopefully. So
just put your AI mask on, Sean, and you can be me and yourself.
There you go. I don't mind doing that. I haven't done that for ages. I need to get the AI
Drew.
back on.
Just get Drew in as me.
Yeah. Johnny, Sean. I told him, I said, get out of the way. I need to get my high five with old Colo Muradi. Absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, we'll see you on Thursday. Appreciate everyone. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment. And by the way, Stelios has changed his name from Stel 10S to Tottenham Away Ole. Is that right?
I started off on YouTube as Tottenham Away. We lost the channel. We built it up again. We lost it again, and we just gave up because we couldn't actually use the name. YouTube blocked it completely. But after watching the away fans chanting Tottenham Away Ole, I thought I can't. So I'm back to Tottenham Away, but with the Ole at the end.
The ultimate spin doctor, ultimate rebranding of Stelligation. I got totally wrong. I'm calling it Tottenham Away Ole. Got to hand it to you, Stell. I've got to hand it, mate.
I still want Stelligation. I still want it. I want to go down, but it's
Listen, it took Lubo 2 hours and 5 minutes, but he managed to do it.
Look what just happened. My man was totally cooked. His waffle, simply awful. You've been stinker and hooked.
I love that video.
I don't get your banter. I don't.
Proper
Do you know
awful. Listen, stay tuned, everybody, because over the next, there's only 3 weeks to go in the season, and get ready for at least 2 more name changes for Stell's channel.
Just remember that Lubo went on all the channels telling everyone that our team is a bottom 3 level squad. Just remember that. He told us that, okay?
Lubo, you let Stell come in tonight, and he spun it on.
Hang on.
Lubo, do you finally admit that you were wrong, basically? And you got sucked into that debate, mate. What is going on, bro? I mean, absolutely shameful. I don't know what you want. All right, guys, we'll see you on Thursday. As always, like, subscribe, and comment.
We're staying
Don't forget, OK Jersey, 8% off. You know what to do. See you over at Code 5 and get yourself 8% off the checkout. Appreciate you all. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Bye, Jeff.